Hey Virgo, it is the season of your sister sign, Taurus, officially on April 20th. And it is such a lucky time for us because Taurus is ruled by Venus and it's all about the sensuality. It's all about the wealth. It's all about the abundance. And I've already got a couple of great cards that came in for you. And I'm going to talk about them in just a second. But first I want to say, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do, because I post readings for you 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm a Virgo, so I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about you, right? We got a little stack of cards that came out, and really the vibe I'm getting overall is like you're thinking about the money, right? That's what Taurus does for us. Makes us think about working steadily, working progressively, working in a balanced way, but not too hard, because we want to use our brains to be efficient and effective, but we also want to be able to experience the fruit of our labor. We want to be able to sit back and sip the wine with our coworkers, with our friends, instead of just working and working and working, right? But there's this other stuff that's going on. Like, we love the work. We're happy when we can do the work. But there's some other stuff. It's like, that's not so great. And it really has to do, the Temperance is here. I'm going to come back to that in a second. But it really has a lot to do with feeling like you're tied up into something that you didn't bargain for. It wasn't like a bait and switch. You just didn't really understand what you were getting yourself into, and so it's kind of got you out of sorts. Somebody's coming up and they're like, hey, you want to do this thing with me? And you're like, okay, I will, but I didn't mention that I have some attachment hang-ups from my childhood that make me think that I have to behave a certain way, and then you'll get used to it, and then I'll be like, I didn't mean for you to think that I'm going to be like catering to you all the time, because I'd actually rather be working. And your partner's like, it's all over the place. But really what it comes down to is untying yourself, unbinding yourself from you've tied yourself up, because I mean it's probably has a lot to do with having some kind of narcissistic parent. You probably, because of that, you attracted narcissistic partners through your youth, and so now that's just the way that you behave. It's like you're afraid that somebody's going to be upset with you if you're not all over them all the time, if you're not doing nice things, if you're not always on good behavior, if you're not always sacrificing your time, your energy, your money, and your dog's money for them. They're like, this is just how they act, and then they take it for granted, and then you're like, what the hell? Why are you taking me for granted? And I never get to do anything that I want. So start here. If there's something you want to do, Virgo, fucking do it. If there's something you don't want to do, Virgo, don't fucking do it. Wow. That's some bumper sticker stuff right there, isn't it? But then, like, what you find out is that people don't get as upset as you thought that they would. The little girl or the little boy, however you identify, the child that pissed off the narcissistic parent by doing what they wanted to do in the way that they wanted to do it, is afraid. Like, the little child, of course the little child's afraid, because they were depending on their parent to take care of them, to support them. And if you upset them, then that could mean death, right? So it's a child's imperative to make their parent happy, right? To not disappoint their parent. And so you didn't learn any other way to be. You never learned how to do things that you want to do. And that is the biggest issue that Virgo has, is that they're always doing for others and they don't know how to do things for themselves. And Taurus season is like, it's reflecting back to you, Virgo. You've created all this beauty and luxury and comfort and safety for everyone else except you. And the little girl's like, well, we have to do it. This is the way we have to do it, so that we can survive, so that we're loved, so that we're cared about. But the pissed off old lady Virgo is going, I can't take doing things for other people for another second. And so finding that middle ground, there's where the temperance comes in. We're finding that middle ground between the grumpy crone and the scared little girl. The middle ground is safe and okay and respected even for doing what she wants to do when she wants to do it. And fortunately, Virgo's not a selfish person. They're going to do whatever they need to do for the people that they love, but within reason. And then they're like, wow, I have all this extra time to do things just for me. And people love that about you, Virgo. And you didn't even know it. You thought they only loved you when you did a whole bunch of things for other people. But it turns out that they love you even more when you're doing things for you. Okay, so that's where I leave off. Hope I got somewhere with you. Make sure and check out my other videos. I love you, and I'll see you soon, Virgo.